to welcome to the Bababa stage Mr. Brian Drayson. Can we give a cheer?
Thank you, dear, thank you. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, hello, young lady. Is he your first husband? Second? Yes, he wouldn't have been my first choice either. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm Nanny Nora. I've come to tell you all about my adventures in Panto Land. Yes. And if that nice Mr. Tim would give me a clicker, I'd know what I was doing. Which one is it, love?
That's it.
Oh, thank you. Right, there we go. Yes. Now, I thought, oh, Tim, what a good idea. I could talk all about the history of Panto. Then I thought, hang on a minute, hang on. Babads are supposed to be about passions. I haven't got about passion about the history of Panto. That's boring. I like being in them and directing them and tinkering with the script. Oh, yes, it's all about the roar of the crowd, grease paint and the smell of the... Oh, I was right, wasn't I? Yeah. Roar of the crowd and smell of the grease paint. Yes, that's it. So, but there's got to be some history, hasn't there? Sorry. Good news, bad news is it started in ancient Greece. Good news is I'm only going back to the 1700s. There we go, Nanny Nora. It all started 1700s. The Harlequinades, or Commedia dell'arte. That's Italian. Yes, that sort of started there, and many of the scenes from there, or the plots, and some of the characters carried on into Panto Land. They all had slapstick comedy, dancing, some kind of misunderstanding, and a comedy brawl. And you can see that sort of come over. And the actual first pantomime in Britain was in 1717. It was called The Loves of Mars and Venus. But if we saw it, we'd think it was a ballet. Anyway, there we got this chap. Fast forward 100 years, you'll be pleased. Anyone know? Oh, yeah. No, Grimaldi. Oh, apparently we're not in opera, dear. We're definitely lower than that, or panto, okay? Joe Grimaldi, he was the first clown, and he's why clowns have that makeup, and why clowns can be known as Joeys. That was him, 1806. So he actually had a catchphrase when he came on stage. He said, oh, here we are again, 1806, a catchphrase. He brought to Panto, or to that, he brought audience participation. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, no. Thank you, Joseph. Right, yes. And in 1806, he actually appeared in a pantomime that was called Harlequin and Mother Goose. So Harlequin was still there, just hanging on, and Mother Goose. I don't think he played Mother Goose. That was at Covent Garden. Anyway, fast forward another 100 years, and we get, any idea? Dan Nino. I wasn't around then, dear. I know I'm old, but I wasn't around then. Dan Leno, he played a musical entertainer. He was the dame at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane from 1888 to 1904. So, well, he was up the West End dressed like that. Jack the Ripper was in the East End killing people. It's weird. Now, in 1902, they wrote a special version of Mother Goose for him, hence the link. It's not thrown together, you know. There was a plan. And he appeared as Mother Goose. And that's the version you see today. Unusually, Mother Goose was not nice all the way through. She gives in to temptation and gets rich and turns nasty. And she's married. I mean, most dames aren't married. You know, they're spinsters. Well, like me, they're just a poor widow. A poor widow. Oh, oh, much poorer than that. Oh. Hey, not that poor. I don't need charity. Anyway. So, basically, pantos are all about good versus bad, and the good always wins. And the baddies normally repent or redeem themselves, but you ask the children what you do, and it's always kill them. Strange, that. And basically, at the end of the day, it's all about love winning, isn't it? Yes. Now, when you go to see a theatrical performance, you pay your money, sit down, you haven't got a clue what's coming. But of course, when you sit down at a pantomime, you know exactly what's coming. Oh, yes, you do. You do. A bit slow there, but okay. Yeah. Should have practiced the timing on that one. So yes, so what do we get in a panto? Well, first of all, we get the principal girl or heroine, always played by a pretty young lady. I wonder why. And then we get the hero or the principal boy, also played by a pretty young lady for some reason. I'll come back to that in a minute. Then normally you get some kind of hapless individual who loves the heroine, but she just thinks he's a brother and won't ever go past that way. Normally you have a dad. He's either penniless, pompous, or henpecked. And you then get straight back to the Harlequin. You normally get a comedy duo. Actually, back in the Harlequin days, they had a pair of servants, and if you think about it, one was always clever and scheming, and the other was thick and did what he was told. And of course, that's carried on into Panto. Well, you can tell the thick one there. That's a group I used to be in. Then, of course, you get the evil stepmother, or the wicked wizard, or the even more wicked witch. And then you get... Yes, a dame. What can you say about a dame? Well, I'll come back to that in a minute. Now, my idea of why principal boys are girls. That's Carrie Moore in 1907, aged 25. Very pretty young lady. First panto, Melbourne, 1896, at the age of 14. And she came over here every year for 10 years to be in pantos. Well, she was a principal girl, and I'm sure the men, I can't find out when children started coming into pantos, but I'm sure the men in the audience quite liked her as a principal girl, but preferred to see her as a ladding, as a principal boy. Because until that time, still around that time, ladies were supposed to wear long frocks. They could not wear anything else unless they were playing a male part. So good old Carrie Moore, there she is as Prince Charming, Robin Hood, Aladdin. So she liked showing her leg. And then, how'd you get to the dame? Well, that comes from the clown part of the Harlequin age. They didn't necessarily have a man dressed up as a woman. They had a clown, and that's perhaps accounts for the makeup and the costumes, etc. I talked about Dan Leno. That's him as Poor Mother Goose. So that's 1902 as Poor Mother Goose. That's him as Rich Mother Goose. And for bonus, that's him as Widow Twankey in 1896. Which, of course, still on Dame, brings me back to me. When I copied that slide, I didn't realise I'd copied the music as well. There we go. So that's me at the Delaware Pavilion about 4 years ago as Widow Twankey. I started, my son's Scout and Cub group used to do a pantomime instead of a gang show. And one year, the Arcala couldn't do it. So I said, could you be a dame? Yeah, I'll give it a go. So Fairy Liquid was born in 1997. Not a pretty sight, I'm afraid. That was a wonderful panto, which was a mash-up between Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Grease. It was very good. Perhaps I wasn't, but it was very good. I can still remember my last line of the first act was, I'm tired of being a fairy, I want to be a man. And so I opened the second act as Elves Presley. So Snow White, Seven Dwarfs, Elves, yeah. It's not thrown together, it really isn't. So there we go. Yes. Then, about 2007, I get a phone call from a local pantomime society that's been going since the Home Guards started it in 1945. Said, oh, could you come and be a dame? Oh, okay, I'll give it a go. So Sally Barber, Ali Barber's mummy, appeared in 2007. It was either that or be the back end of that donkey, and I didn't really fancy that. So, just a history of me, because why I sort of love it. Oh, sorry, this was I went down really well with the critics on that first show. And then one critic said, now I could have spoken to him all day, because I think that's what a dame is. It's not a female impersonator, it's not a drag, it is a man in a frock. But I found out that a musical entertainer called Vesta Tilley played a dame, but she was a male impersonator. So she was a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman. I'd love to have seen that. Still, fate took a hand. My performance was so good, the hall burnt down. So there was no 2008, no 2009. So that was the Alibaba with me as Sally. Then the next year we could, 2010, Dick Whittington. I was a rat. Now some of you might be thinking, why is there a lion in the middle of central London? Because it doesn't look rat-like. Well, because it was the costume out of The Wizard of Oz. And although I put a pink tail on it, the director insisted I took the tail off. So everyone kept wondering, why is there a lion in central London? But never mind, we got there. Cinderella, I directed that one, great fun. Aladdin, back to a frock, Widow Twankey, with wishy-washy there, and the magic vacuum flask that you put hot in. And then Jack and the Beanstalk. What did I do that one? Oh yeah, no, I directed that one. Robinson Crusoe. I don't only dress a frock. I was a gorilla in that one, and fallen in love with him, which is why I've got his picture with me. Then was it 2015? Sleeping Beauty. I loved this. This was a wonderful performance. I directed it. And because we were short of a cast member, I also got to play a drunken doctor. But there we go. Peter Pan. I didn't get in that one, didn't rehearse, didn't direct it or anything. I was at the side of the stage with a hard hat and a pair of gloves, making Peter Pan fly across the stage. And very well he flew as well. And then my last time before we moved down to the south coast was Frankenstein the Panto. A very strange panto. But it was good. It had Dracula in it, as well as his grandmother, Granula. And it was all very good. But I thought it was very strange, and this is why I like tinkering with the scripts, because he didn't have an Igor. Surely Professor Frankenstein always has a sidekick called Igor. So I wrote in the part of Igor. I took Frankenstein's lines, cut them in half, gave half to Igor, and then made Igor a glove puppet. So poor old Tony went mad, rehearsing, talking all his lines to his right hand, and his right hand talking back to him. Not as a ventriloquist, it almost drove him mad. He got there in the end, bless him. But why do I like Panto? That's why I like Panto. That's a friend's son who came to see me first at the Delaware. But look at that, the magic. To me, it's still often a child's first live entertainment, an opportunity to see what should be noisy, lively, colourful performance in a safe space. As I said before, you know, you'll have told them what to expect. You'll have told them to shout at the right times. And if only, I know, one out of every audience goes on to then be an actor and whatever, good luck to them, because I love it. I love yeah, that's it. And why I love being Dame is because you can ad-lib and not stick to the script. As long as you get back and roughly give the right cue to your fellow actors. But yes, I think, oh yes, I've gone a bit quick, Tim, because it's time for you now.
Right,
it's time for you and Dan.
Ah, it's time for that.
Yes.
Okay.
It's that moment.
It's that moment.
Now this is... Oh yes it is. Oh yes. Now, what you get a lot in Panto is to help change the scenery. You get a bit in front of the curtain, which doesn't add to the story, doesn't take it anywhere. It's supposed to be just funny. It's called business. And some lazy scriptwriters just put in some business here instead of telling you what they'd like you to do. So here is my favourite bit of business, with the help of Piano Man Dan and Tiny Tim.
Is that my cue?
That's your cue.
That's my cue. Right, but we've rehearsed this.
I haven't.
Nanny Nora, do you have that £10 you owe me, please?
Oh no, I don't. Wait a minute, Tim. Oh, I'll tell you what. Have you got a tenner?
I've only got a fiver.
Oh, that'll do. You'll get it back. You'll get it back, love. Here's a £5. I'll give you the other 10 next time I see you, Tim.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thanks, Nanny. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Hello, Tim. Do you have that £10 that you owe me?
Yes. So yeah, I've only got a fiver, Dan. But if you take that, I'll give you the other 5 when I see you.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Dan. Have you got that £10 you owe me?
I've only got a fiver, Nana. But if you take it, I can give you the other fiver when I see you again.
Okay, thanks. Dan.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Tim, glad I've seen you. There's that other fiver I owe you. Oh, we're all quits now, aren't we?
Yeah, thanks, honey. That makes us even. Glad I've seen you, Dan. Oh, yeah, Dan. Glad I've seen you, Dan. Here's that other fiver, are you? Yeah.
Good, I thought I'd never see that. Right.
Oh, glad I've seen you. Oh, Dan.
Okay, thank you, Tim, for that. That makes us even, and glad I've seen you, Nanny, because that's the fiver I owe you.
Thank you very much. We're quits now, aren't we?
We are.
Yes, we are. Here's your £5 back, love. And we're quits now, aren't we?
We are.
Yes. Now, if you can understand that, you can be charged with the exchequer. Thank you very much.
Brian Drayson. Come back on position. Brian Drayson, everyone. Wasn't that fantastic?
I couldn't handle the first game. Sorry.